Hello everybody, and welcome to another AMA from the Open Web Sandbox. Today we have another very special guest, is Orrin from QSTN. In my humble opinion, one of the best projects built on Near. So I'm super excited to have you here and to dig more into QSTN. And for those that are not familiar with QSTN, what QSTN does is a project that aims at bringing data ownership and the possibility of monetization to users. And they're also doing a lot of cool stuff with NFTs. And perhaps to start off our conversation, you could perhaps say a few words about what QSTN aim is, and also why it is important that people care about taking back the power over their own data.
Of course. So hello, everyone. Honored to be here. My name is Orrin Campbell, and I'm the founder and CEO of QSTN. And so Question is a blockchain-enabled market research portal where users can answer questions. We ask you 5 questions a day. You earn virtual credit or cryptocurrency for answering those 5 questions a day. And then you can spend those credits or cryptocurrencies within our virtual marketplace. And in that marketplace, we offer NFTs, discount codes, promotional goods, and virtual experiences within the metaverse. About a year ago, I kind of realized that there was a disconnect between the information that we generate and the value that we see from that. And I thought that blockchain could be a cool way to map and to store our data contributions on chain and to have immutable proof of the fact that we've contributed for monetization.
Okay. So before we continue, I just wanted to share with everybody the QSTN logo, because I'm absolutely in love with that. So I'm going to share it.
Thank you.
Right now. It's super cute. I love it.
Me too. Thank you.
So another question, like another QSTN goal is to create an ecosystem where users can monetize their data and learn about cryptocurrencies. Can you tell us a bit more about that? Like, how does that happen on QSTN?
So right now, the current model is that basically we ask you questions, you answer those questions and receive virtual credit for answering those questions. In the future, we want to also turn it into a trivia. So quizzing people on questions, and if they get it right, they also earn tokens. So we want to use that trivia component to ask people about data or current or trending events, and then to reward them for answering that or getting it right. And besides just the actual component of learning on our platform, we've bought space within the metaverse. We believe the metaverse is going to be a huge component for digital adoption and experiences in the future. So we purchased some land in crypto voxels and in Substrata, and we're going to be hosting concerts and just different ways to learn about data there, as well as some mini games and hiding some NFTs and tokens in our spaces as well.
Are you perhaps thinking about collaborating with NearHub too in the future?
We would love to. We love some of the spaces they've created for Paris and stuff like that. So if anybody knows NearHub, please let them know that QSTN has a request for a build.
Great. So in terms, like, these are plans that are going to get started in the future, or are you already working on that?
We've already started working on it. If you go to Substrata, you can actually see our headquarters there. We've got some builds done. You guys can hang out in our offices in the metaverse in Substrata. So that's already underway, actually.
That's super cool. So and I also read that QSTN is planning to open like an NFT marketplace. So I'd be curious to know more about that. What's the idea for that, and what kind of NFTs you want to put in the market?
Great. That's a great question. So first and foremost, I want to say thank you very much for liking the Question logo. We love them as well, and we want to turn them into a 10K generative profile pic project. So we want to turn the Question mascot into basically an NFT. And every week as you answer questions, you have a chance to collect a different version of the Question logo. And the goal is not only can you collect the Question logo, but you can change the gloves that's holding the coin or even what assets it's holding. And so besides our own custom NFTs, we're going to be partnering with different brands who do market research to offer their goods. So let's say Coca-Cola approaches us and they want to do a market research group. we'll ask 10 questions to the participants, and then people can earn a Coke NFT or buy it within our marketplace. So we want to work with people to offer cool stuff, different brands, different artists, different companies and protocols to offer exciting goods within our marketplace.
Yeah. So a question that perhaps is good to address for the general audience is how different is QSTN way of handling data and selling them as opposed to what the mainstream companies like Google are doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the main difference and what's in there for users to gain from QSTN, basically?
Good question. Well, the most immediate benefit would be money, right? Most companies just take your money, take your cookies, and don't basically give you any sort of incentive. And so our first goal is to incentivize the user, whether it be through tokens, virtual credits, or through NFTs, but to pay you for your data. The second is to give you true control over your data. And so what we're trying to do at Question is we're trying to build different experiences for different users, right? There might be a user who wants to be able to monetize their data, but doesn't care about privacy, doesn't care about wallets. So they should be able to have a gasless experience. And then you might have the more advanced Web3 user who does care about privacy, who doesn't care about gas fees, and who's willing to take that extra step to have their information stored on chain. And so within one system, giving people the option and the complete autonomy to control their information, to have the action or the option to basically timestamp it on the blockchain, and then having different forms of incentive to contribute to our database. And then we're going to be hosting that information, some patients or some participants can have their information stored centrally, some can have it stored decentrally. And so that's kind of been, I guess, the biggest bottleneck for our operation is just giving all of these different components to our users, right? We want people to have choice. We want to have a platform where a user can actually take control of their data. And so having those different integrations and counterparts has been the biggest time-consuming piece right now, which is fun.
And in terms of the way data are shared with other companies, how does that work exactly? And also, are the data like fully private?
So we're planning to integrate Verita. Right now, we're creating our own solutions until Verita has an integration on the Near blockchain. They won one of Near's incubator projects. And so the way it'll work is that a customer or a data contributor will have their data, and companies can make request access for specific data points. And anytime somebody requests data, we'll timestamp that to the blockchain, and there will be basically a window for how long this person can have this information and what type of information they can access. And so again, the user will have complete control and can set the rules and the definitions for how long and who can access their information, as well as having a messaging portal to kind of work out rates for how much you think that data is worth.
Yeah, that's a super cool system. And I mean, right now, like the way companies are treating our data is absolutely appalling. So we really need a project like that addresses this issue, because it's really important for reestablishing rights over our privacy and data.
I completely agree.
The monetization part is super interesting and cool that you're doing that.
Thank you.
And so I was interested in knowing more about how the idea came about, and maybe your own personal reasons for being interested in this kind of project.
So I got into the crypto space back in 2016, 2017. I heard about Ethereum, and I kind of was just kind of awestruck and got immediately into the space and started learning more. Minted my first NFT in 2018 on Super Rare. I graduated from NYU, Stern School of Business, and when I graduated, I went into the entertainment field. I have a caricature on national television as a cyborg from the future, which is why my name is Cyborg Orrin, and then also this cyborg hoodie. I had an awesome chance to interview Neil deGrasse Tyson on YouTube. And when I interviewed Neil deGrasse Tyson, he says, the problem with Facebook, the problem with Instagram, the problem with all of these free social media platforms is that they're not really free. Anytime you make an account, they should have a big red button that says, you get free software, but we're going to take all your data, and that there should be a button that explicitly disclaims that. And there isn't. So at the end of 2020, I basically was thinking, how could we solve that problem of data monetization with an emerging technology? And I basically thought about my interest in blockchain and things like Near and their ability to have scalable transactions and it being climate neutral, and decided to build on this idea. And in 2020, I decided to incorporate the business. And over this past year, I've been fortunate to be in some Verizon incubators, to be in the Gitcoin incubator, and to even recently place fourth place in the NFT hack sponsored by Encode and Filecoin. So it's really just put me on a journey, learning more about blockchain, Web3, data, and different ways to empower the user. And I really enjoy it, learning about different protocols in Near, whether it's IDX or whether it's Ceramic Protocol, and figuring out different ways to address data. It's like a fun Sudoku problem.
And what can we expect in the in the near future from QSTN, or even what are the plans for the coming year? Could you share a bit of that with us?
Of course. So right now, we're currently iterating on testnet. We're going to finish the prototype by about February 1st. By then, for the month of February, we want to do some private internal testing. And then hopefully we can start moving people off the wait list by March, and people can start earning as soon as March. And so right now, we're just testing, iterating, figuring out different ways to add values to company, whether there's different ways we need to collect data, different ways that people need the data sent to them or collected. So just making sure that this is perfect for the user, and that not only the user, but companies can find value out of this, and that people feel safe and that they understand the workflow.
And you touched upon the whitelist. Is this the way in which people can get onboarded with QSTN?
Yes.
How do they get involved? Through the whitelist, right?
So for right now, anybody who wants to get involved can go to QSTN.us and basically join our waitlist. We're going to start moving people off the waitlist around mid-February, so just sign up right about now. And in the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram, QSTN.us. You can follow us on Twitter, QSTNUS, and you can also join our Discord, which is in either bios of the social media platforms.
Okay, I just shared the link so that it's easier for people to find it.
Thank you so much.
Another more general question that might be very useful for people that are listening to us and that are interested in taking steps to take control of their data, apart from getting into QSTN, what are the other things that are good to be mindful of when it comes to data ownership?
Just understanding the fact that everybody talks about a universal basic income, and they say, okay, well, if we have a universal basic income, do we have to take money from here? Do we have to take money from here? Do we have to generate funds here? Do we have to increase inflation? Do we have to? But what we're forgetting is that we all generate value every single day. That every day when you open your phone, depending on what app you click, how long you're on your phone, what program you go to, what websites you go to, how long you text your friend, that's all data that somebody is collecting. And so we all have to realize that we generate valuable information and that we need to start being monetized and paid for this valuable information. And also understanding that data is a human right, so understanding that you can have the option to use a VPN, that you should maybe have something like Clean My Mac to basically remove search cookies and things that are tracing your computer. Just understanding that data is an asset and that we need to protect that asset and we need to understand its value. And that in order for people to actually protect that value, they need to understand its value. And so people need to be educated around data. And so that's a big goal with Question, is to help people to understand the value of this data, right?
Yeah, indeed. And I think that people are still struggling to wrap their heads about the importance of their data, because it's something that we're so used to just giving out for free and accepting all the cookies without a second thought, that we really do not see the value, even though data are like the new gold, basically.
There's a statistic that basically by the age of 21, you've generated around $10,000 worth of value for third-party marketers. So it's like, imagine we could access that money even a little bit as a consumer, whether it's 1,000, 5,000, or all 10,000. Like, I'm sure that money could help people, especially during a global pandemic, And so I think teaching people what they're missing out on will help incentivize them to want to go get it and claim it back.
Yeah. And another question that might be interesting to address is, in QSTN, how can a third-party abuse be prevented? Because it's something that it's quite interesting if you provide data for the platform.
Basically, limiting one central point of attack, right? And so that can be by basically decentrally hosting the data that we're basically collecting, obviously adhering to normal data security standards, but just finding new ways where basically the consumer has control over their data. So there shouldn't be a breach if basically a consumer has given a right for this third party to access that information for X amount of time. And at the end of that window, all of the information and the rights get revoked. And so basically just creating a system where the user's in control and then doing our best to make sure that we follow best practices and to limit any single point of attack.
Yeah. And where are these data stored? Like, are you using something like IPFS or something like that? Yeah.
IPFS, Filecoin. We recently competed in the NFT hack. And so we were fortunate to place fourth. And so we're going to be using Filecoin since we recently participated in their hackathon. And it looks as if Ilya and some people at Near are creating their own version of an IPFS called Machina. So we're looking forward to seeing how that comes out in the next 20 days to see if we can incorporate them as well for a Near product.
Oh, that's super nice. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it looked cool. We were looking at the website last night. Our engineer sent it and we were going back and forth like, whoa, this is going to be sick.
Super nice. So would you like to share with us something else or with the public, some news, etc., to wrap the AMA?
Just basically requestion, you get paid for your personal information. Again, you answer 5 questions a day and you earn virtual credit for answering these questions, and then you can spend it within our marketplace. We're really looking forward to launching on Near. The community has been great. There's a great community of DAOs. Even just being on this podcast is great. Can we share our screen for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
It'd be better. Can you see our screen?
No, I still can't.
What about now?
Okay.
Great. So we'll give you guys a quick preview into an early prototype of question, but just so you understand the workflow. Sorry, our computer is super slow. So the way question is going to work is you log in using a username and password. We're going to change that to a decentralized login with the Near wallet. And so here you answer questions. They're multiple choice. Every time you answer a multiple choice question, you can see in the top left that your balance increases. So our balance was originally 45. We answered 5 questions and now it's 50. And then within the NFT shop, you'll be able to purchase NFTs. What we're showing you here is us basically uploading an NFT for purchase, which gets hosted on IPFS. And so we can list NFTs within our marketplace, and then using those virtual credits, you can buy the NFTs that we list. You can see us minting this on the Near testnet, and then boom. I hope that was a little helpful.
Yeah, it was. Like it's super intuitive. It's super easy. So that's great.
Great. So that's more of like a centralized login. Obviously, username and password. We're integrating Near for Near wallet sign in and things like that. But that's basically the general concept. We really want to help with mainstream adoption, right? What we think is so amazing about Question is that people hear about crypto, people hear about Bitcoin, people hear about blockchain, but people don't know where to start, and even if people do know where to start, people get scared to put their credit card behind it. Okay, cool, crypto, blockchain, money, this 100x data empowerment. Okay, I've got to put my credit card behind it. That's scary. And so what's cool about Question is that you don't have to put up any upfront capital. It's your data, right? And so you can basically get a chance to start investing in crypto without putting up any capital that's money, right? It's your data. And so now people have an entry point into cryptocurrencies without having to put their credit card or their wallet or their dollar, and we instantly give you a wallet to hold all you earn. And so it really is a great way to onboard people into the Near ecosystem and blockchain as a whole.
So, and for companies that might be interested in using this system, this platform, to source data, can they basically just upload their own questions to be asked?
Great question. Wasn't going to reveal this, but yes, the next step of question is, besides us asking our own daily questions, we're going to be creating a white label version so that businesses can basically pay a subscription and ask their own questions and then pay their own respondents in our native currency / virtual credit.
Okay, perfect. And I saw that we have a question, which is, do we get paid for all data siphoned or only for the questions we answer?
That feels a bit of a trick question because hopefully we don't siphon data. We make data requests, but any data that we request, we will definitely compensate you for on chain as well.
Okay, great. So I'm really looking forward to see how QSTN develops, and when can we expect it to be on beta, for instance? Is it too early to talk about that, or?
No, beta basically is going to be in March. So, we're going to be doing some private tests. Obviously, we would love for you to be one of the people to do private tests in February. So private tests in February for the close inner circle, and then beta to the general public in March. So sooner than soon, really in a month. Not really sleeping too much, which is why I'm awake at 6 a.m. doing this interview. But that's the beauty of being in blockchain and Web3.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. It's March is around the corner, so
right?
Great. I'm super excited, and I'll be very happy to be part of the testing of QSTN. I'm a big fan, so.
Thank you. The feeling is mutual. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much for being with us today. It was It was a super interesting talk, and I'm very happy that we got the chance to dig into QSTN, and I'm super bullish on it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. We're looking forward to the near future.
Great. So have a nice day, everybody, and thank you for being with us today.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.